Tests, one of the worst creations in the world and one of the best for our brain. Tests were made to challenge our brains and see where we're at and how much we have learned. When it comes to a test, some study for it and receive a good grade, and some don't study for it and get a bad grade, or somewhat get a good grade, which majority of the time they get a good grade. Or you can cheat. However, some of the tests are either really hard, easy, dumb, or not worth studying for. I don't know. Okay, I'm not good with intros. Let's get this over with. For today's video, we're going to be discussing about tests, specifically on PE, math, English, history, science, and driving. Alright, let's go. Starting with driving. The driving test has to be one of the most hardest, but also the most easiest to do. And I say it's kind of easy because you have to write a writing essay on how much you have learned, and you have to answer some questions. But honestly, it ain't all hard. Like, I'm looking in the manual and I'm thinking to myself, who wouldn't understand this? I don't understand anyone who wouldn't understand a right turn, or a slower traffic keep right, or a left turn yield on green, or a yellow light. The only reason why it's hard is because you're getting too serious about it. As long as you don't get stuck in your head, you're bound to succeed. And if we're gonna be honest, as soon as they pass the test and receive their driver's license, they probably ain't gonna follow the rules. Like, you ever see someone just follow the speed limit or slow down when a yellow light comes? No? Exactly. I know there's much more to the driving test than just rules, but overall, it seems pretty easy. I think. I don't know. I haven't took the test yet. Next up, PE. Now, PE has to be the easiest test to pass. All you have to do is put effort, and that's it. That's like a solid B plus, A minus. Doing a test in PE is like impossible to fail. If you fail a PE test in your life, then you're just overall a disappointment. Moving on to English. Now, English doesn't really do tests. They do essays. English tests are a little between easy and hard. The easy part about the English essay is that you have to do an intro, 2 paragraphs, a counter argument, and a conclusion. That's all you have to do. The hard part is getting the information. The reason why I say it's hard is, dude, calm down. The reason why I say it's hard is you have to make it a proper essay. You can't just simply say it in your words. You can't just simply put 6 sentences, otherwise you receive an F. All 5 paragraphs have to be 3 sentences at most each, but properly. Like, I don't get why I can't just say it in like my own words. Like, if I had to say it in my own words, it would be like 3 to 5 sentences at most. Okay, we're just gonna move on to history because this is actually breaking my brain. History tests are honestly really boring. It's basically the same as an English essay where you have to write 5 paragraphs and you have to get the information from this article and you have to write it all down. Except it's way boring. Yeah, to be honest, I don't know what to say about history tests other than they're boring, alright? I don't know what to say, okay? I didn't really came with a script. I just recorded this off the rip with this burning box. Oh my god. We're gonna get there, don't worry. They're just boring and sometimes they make me mad. Not as mad as the next two. Math and science tests have to be the worst ever, especially the secure tests ones, but we'll get there. First off, math. In elementary school, math is pretty easy to do. It was easily comprehensive and none of the problems were really that hard to do. So math in elementary was pretty easy. And then middle school came in and I realized math is horrible, especially in high school. Math in high school is actually frustrating. Math tests in high school just gives you brain damage. That's basically it. And yeah, okay, I don't want to talk about it. My brain's hurting now. Oh shit. Let's move on to science. Science tests in all 3 stages of school are just hard to do, okay? I don't care if you're smart, you have a hard time. From my experience of doing tests for biology and physics, I can firmly say I failed them all. Alright, I just failed them, alright? All the questions are just hard for me to understand. Not to mention math's involved, and when you put 2 of the hardest subjects together, it's just hell. I don't know why math is involved in science. I don't know why it's illegal. If you pass these tests, you're just smart, alright? Especially if you pass the secure test ones, alright? Like, those are impossible. A month ago, I had to take a secure test on 3 subjects: English, math, and science. Alright, pausing the subject. I really need to finish this video early, alright? Because I'm fearing this box might explode. Now, for the you're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. Now, the English one wasn't as hard as I thought it would be, but mainly because I didn't put paragraphs at all. I either copied the text from the dialogue or I just put the most basic shit you'll ever see in a test. Math and science, however, were easy. And the reason why I said it was easy was I just put the randomest answers. I just put an answer that seems to be reasonable. See, when I was doing those tests, it hit me. I don't know any of these questions, and I'm probably not gonna pass them because I didn't study for them. They took me out of class and they put me in this room with all these other students and made me do these tests. There's a reason for it, but I'm not gonna go in depth with that. And when I was finally done with my science test, there was a yes and no question that said, were any of the questions shown on the test taught in your class? Which comes to the video title. Tests are dumb. While tests were made to train your brain, the problem with tests as a whole is that they don't really do anything to the brain. Tests don't really identify where you at because it is unknown whether or not they study or not. And I'm saying that because there are times where you do not study and yet you receive a good grade, and it's reverse psychology for the guy who studies. So it's hard to tell whether or not you are doing good or you're not. Not to mention, but majority of the questions that we learn in class aren't there. Some of the questions that we've been doing on the practice test aren't on the actual test. Why do we have to learn all this stuff if we ain't doing it on the test? The same can go for that secure test I did for science, because majority of the questions I had no idea what it was about. I don't know if it was because I wasn't listening. All right, I didn't pass biology or physics, but I don't know. But regardless, majority of the questions I don't know or remember about. The same can go for math. I guess the main point I'm trying to state is tests are dumb because they don't really help us with our lives. They don't help the staff or teachers or principal know whether or not we are smart or we're just cheating. Now you can blindfold a person and make them do the test and there'll be a 30% chance that they'll pass. Tests are just dumb in general. That's it. Okay, I'm trying to take care of my box. All right, I don't want to explode. All right, love you guys. Bye.
I didn't know anything. I just gave up. See ya.